Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hi
Hello.
there. I'm Kadeja.
I'm Taylor.
And this is the Degrassi Authority.
Woo! Yay! Woo! Yay! Woo! So welcome to season 14, episode
five.
5. Wow, episode
5.
5 review.
Yes.
We got a lot to do
Yes.
today. Let's get cracking.
Okay, so from what we saw
Yes.
of the start out, because we got in 2 minutes late
Yes.
into the house, so something may have happened before. But what we
saw
first
was-
see is Becky singing because she wants to possibly be in this rock band to get out of seeing her brother.
Yeah.
And she's
She
like,
keeps telling her mother that she has band practice, but she's not in a band, so she needs to get in a band.
yeah, exactly.
That's what she's doing.
And I guess it's for a rock band.
Yeah.
And Becky has like this opera-y type singing voice.
It's super operatic when she's like, and I will. When it opens and we see her, like, we just see her going.
I thought it was for a play.
Yeah,
honestly.
I did too. I heard play.
And so then she asked what she was singing to Drew and Imogen,
Yeah.
and she was like, "Oh, so what do you guys think? Do you guys think I'm good?" And they're like, "Yeah."
You're good.
Like, it's not that her voice is bad, because it's not. It's just not the right singing voice for a rock band.
Not at all. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so that happened. Next, we go to the cheerleaders, and they're looking at a cheerleading competition happening.
Yeah, there's a squad going before them. And
Yeah.
they're really good.
I think they were just overseeing what was going on. I think they were just checking out the competition.
Oh, okay.
Like, I don't even think they competed in that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so they got super intimidated. They're like, how do they bend like that? Like, how are they snapping like that? And oh my gosh, look at the size of their hair bows.
They're
They're
twice as big as our hair bows.
Oh my gosh, our priorities.
Yeah, exactly.
My goodness. Yeah, so that happened, a little intimidation happening.
By the hair bows.
And then we see Becky actually auditioning for the rock band.
Yeah.
And it's in front of this super goth rockish like guy, got an X on his hand, wearing
guy liner.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
wearing like all black.
And she's all
she was
like, and he's like, okay,
Yeah.
I think that I've heard enough.
Yeah,
I think we're okay. And she's like, oh, okay, like, and he's like, yeah, I just don't think you're the right fit. And she's like, my friend said I sounded good. And he's like, your friends were lying.
I was like, whoa, he ain't pulling no punches.
Rip that Band-Aid off. And by the way, the rock guy's name is Jonah. I find out later on his name is Jonah. It was the first time we'd seen
Jonah.
him. Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, so that happens. Next we see, oh my gosh. So Claire's walking outside.
No, Eli.
No, but Claire's outside. That's
Claire's outside.
Yeah.
And
she's got to be outside.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay,
Yeah. She's walking outside by the buses, and then Eli comes up, and he's seeking after her. And he's like, oh, Claire, I don't know, I'm going crazy. And, okay, what gets me is he says the way that he feels about her is that he can't breathe. Okay,
He did say that.
that's not healthy. Like, that's the first sign of an unhealthy relationship.
Yeah.
If the person you're with causes you not to be able to gasp a breath.
Exactly. It wasn't even like a romantic thing where, like, there are some like unhealthy relationships that people find romantic when they say like, oh, I can't breathe without you.
Yeah.
But you say I can't breathe with you, I guess, and that didn't make sense to me.
Yeah,
I was confused.
It's just very, oh my gosh, that's when you're just crossing the boundaries.
Yeah, that's not good at all.
Unhealthy.
You shouldn't do that.
And so he asks Claire out, and she's like, oh, like on a date? And he's like, I don't know, like something. And it's just like, dude.
Yeah, because wasn't she was with Drew at this point, wasn't she?
Not then.
That was after.
Yeah, that was
when
another.
they were like feeding each other.
Huh? No, that wasn't then, because she was walking alone.
At this point, she was walking alone, but later on, that was when they were like, okay.
We haven't got to lady yet.
Okay, no, I'm just asking.
You give me
I'm
little
just asking.
teases.
I'm asking.
Yeah, they were. Drew, he wouldn't have talked to her at that moment if Drew was right there. He wouldn't be asking her out if Drew was right there.
Okay.
The problem that he has with him.
I thought he was talking to her after he. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
When okay.
He wouldn't.
Let's just finish. Okay, let's just finish this part. Let's just finish.
Okay. And so he asks her, and Claire's like, "Of course, it's always a yes with you, Eli." Guess he can breathe now.
Yeah. I don't know how he was. Yeah.
I don't know how bad this breathing thing
This
is.
was-
for
yeah.
him. He needs to go to a doctor.
His Claire-inspired asthma.
Yeah, and so then Zoe. Okay, now we're back. We're at the cheerleaders in the gym, and Zoe comes in, and she's bought them all this cheerleading equipment with all their fundraiser money and stuff like their fundraiser money.
Fundraiser.
And they're like, Zoe, you didn't ask us if this was okay, and she's like, I don't have to ask your permission to use the money.
You don't have to ask the permission to use the money that I helped you make.
Exactly.
You don't have to. I didn't. Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know that's how that kind of stuff worked out.
And they're like, well, this is just not okay. And then she's like, well, don't come crying to me.
Yeah, and when you're old, and because she's like, fine, I'll take the stuff back, but don't come crying to me when you realize that you made a mistake. Even though they definitely didn't make a mistake, but whatever.
Yeah. And so next we cut to Becky and Imogen in the hallway. And Becky's like, yeah, the guy said that you guys were lying to me about having a good voice, but you guys wouldn't do that, right? And she's like, maybe a little.
Oh, just a little tiny bit.
Yeah. And she's just like, oh my God, how'd you guys do that? You're my friends. Oh my goodness, what are you doing? Stop.
She's so terrible. And she runs off.
And runs into Jonah, and he approaches her to give her this envelope that she had dropped while she was leaving in a haste after he said that she couldn't sing.
Yeah.
And I guess it was a letter from Becky's brother to Becky asking her to come visit.
Yeah, she could come visit him.
Yeah, and she's like, oh my gosh, why were you reading the letter? And he was like, well, there was no like to address on it. It was blank, so I needed to see what it was. And she's like, well, you didn't stop reading after you saw Dear Becky? And he was like,
hey, I'm trying to help you out, bro. And then is this the part where he drops he drops a Bible verse on her.
Yeah, he drops a Bible verse. It's just
she's
Isaiah something.
Yeah,
Isaiah 43.
12, yeah. And he just drops it on her, and she's like...
And that was the moment when I was like, they're going to get together. At some point, they're going to get together. I don't know why Becky keeps hooking up with these people who are completely opposite of her.
They don't make
in
any
every
sense.
way, shape, and form. I don't understand it.
I don't get it.
So that was that. And then we go to... Zoe approaches Grace, and she's just like... And Grace just never has time for Zoe's crap. Just never.
Yeah,
she's just
Grace
what do you want?
Not about it at all.
And Zoe's like, oh, the cheerleaders, they're starting to revolt.
Yeah,
and
they're going against me.
And Grace is like, well, what did you do? Because obviously
that's
she
your
did
fault.
something.
We know.
And she's just like, oh man, I was trying to buy this cheerleading stuff, and I don't know why Zoe would say, or I don't know why Frankie would say anything. Anyway, she was like, Frankie was so like,
angry and stuff. Or Frankie's all against it, right?
Yeah, and she's like, I don't get why she's against it.
That's what Grace said. Grace said, I don't know why she's against it.
Yeah, because she's only done one picture, and Zoe's like, what do you mean? And Grace was like, oh, well, she only sent one picture, and I haven't gotten one from her since. And you can tell that Zoe's like super like...
Yeah, Zoe's really mad about this.
And she's like, well, why didn't you bring this to my attention earlier? Grace is like, you don't own Grace. Like,
come on now.
Grace is doing this as a favor to you.
She ain't working for you. You serious?
Like, dude,
she ain't working for you at all.
And then Zoe, like, goes into this whole thing about, like, oh my God, like, it sucks being a victim and whatnot. Like, everybody sees me as a victim. And Grace is like, so you're sending nudes to get over nudes sent of you by others. And in the next scene, we see Eli and Claire, they're kind of going on a date. It's not even really a date. They just kind of were going to sit out at a picnic table.
Yeah.
Outside. And Claire's phone ring. And Eli's like, who's calling you? And my first thought was, Eli, it's no business of yours who's calling Claire. You don't own her. You've no right to even inquire about who is blowing up her phone right now.
But I feel like he shouldn't have had to ask because he should have already known. He's smart. He knows.
But he didn't need to ask.
Yeah, he didn't need to ask. He didn't need to ask, but I just feel like that was kind of stupid that he even asked.
Yeah.
He should have known, but anywho.
And then, so they go sit down at the picnic table, and then Drew comes up, of course, at the worst time, and he's like, oh my God, why haven't you been answering? I've been calling you the whole time. And I was like, hold up again. It's no business of yours if she doesn't answer your phone. She's probably not dead. You would be contacted if she was dead right now. You guys aren't together. It's no business of yours why she isn't answering her phone. She would talk to you when she talks to you.
Exactly.
All these guys are so up in her grill like they own her. I don't like Claire, but I know I don't like her by any means. But these guys have no right to be keeping tabs on her like this.
I thought it was really, I didn't like how Drew just came over and like put his arm around her and was like literally like all up on her like, oh my gosh, are you okay? What? Do you not see that I'm out here by myself and that I am okay? Do you see a tree branch sticking out of my side? Do you see blood like coming out of my like? Is my water broken? No. Then I think I'm good. You could have saw that from the front door and then just not came outside.
Yeah. The amount of panic in him, it would almost seem as if he had something important to tell her. But no, he was just concerned that she wasn't answering her phone. So like, do you guys talk 24/7? No, I doubt it. Because you guys don't, I mean, you guys try to act like you guys are now on the best terms. But given the circumstances, I don't think you guys are best friends right now. Not. She's not your best friend Veep anymore. I'm sorry, but she is.
Love my Veep.
Yeah, and then so what is it? Eli may not be able to. So Claire, she's like, you're gonna have to get like he's involved. Like Claire's like he's involved in this situation.
Wait,
like
Eli
he's
or Drew?
Drew is because he's the father, and Eli he's like. I may not be able to accept that he's involved, even though Drew's the father. Like, there's no way around Drew being involved in this situation.
Especially since when you first found out about it, and you found out that Drew was the father, you did know that he was the father. That's why you got mad at her. That's why you were like, I can't talk to you. That's why you had to come up to her at the beginning of this episode to say, I think I can try this out. Because you knew that Drew was the father and you knew he wanted to be involved. So why are you acting all brand new?
I just don't know what Eli's expecting from the situation. Is he just expecting Drew to just be cast off like this anonymous baby daddy, like he's the sperm donor?
I was just gonna say that.
I don't think that's what's going on.
Oh, he's so ignorant.
Okay, and so next we go to the girls are all okay. These kids are never in class.
Yeah, they're just hanging
around. What was the cheerleading crew just doing, sitting down
in the lunchroom? Like,
was that the lunchroom?
Yeah, they were in the lunchroom.
Okay, sitting on a table like all facing the same direction for one.
Exactly.
You guys weren't sitting around a table conversing. You guys were just all sitting around staring at the entrance.
Exactly. Like you were waiting for somebody to come in. I don't know, Justin Bieber, because he's Canadian and they all hang out, I guess.
I mean,
you thought he was going to just come through the door or something.
Yeah, I just don't.
I don't know.
I don't understand. But anyway, Zoe comes up to them and she hands them all these really nice wallets.
It's a trap.
These wristlets, I'll specify.
Yeah.
And Zoe's just like in this very like soothing, remorseful voice, and she's like, "Here, I just got these for you because since we won't be doing the competitions anyway, I figure that you guys should reap the benefits of all the work you've done and
that
stuff."
You guys have brought in.
And I just, like Taylor said, it's a trap. This is manipulating to the highest degree. And I don't understand why they're giving up on the competition. The money that they fundraise is still not being used for their purpose of their fundraising. Frankie in her big spiel said that money was for us to get back and forth to competitions and uniforms and stuff like that. But now it's totally okay since it's being blown on wristlets. I
guess they saw the bow ties and were like, we can't do this. There's no way.
I feel like that makes the wristlets make so much less sense than the equipment that was bought with the money before. So why aren't you guys up in arms about it?
I'm definitely not Team Zoe on this whole imp chat thing, but the cheerleaders sounded super ignorant.
Yeah.
Talking about like, oh my gosh, like how can you do this? And then they get wristlets and they're like, oh cool, thanks.
And they actually feel bad, and Zoe's like, I'll be in the locker room at such and such time if any of you want to talk. And then she walks away. And as she's walking away, she has this little
like I showed them. I bet
Zoe
they about
smile.
to come.
So yeah,
are you sirs?
that happened. And then we see Becky reading the letter aloud to Imogen, and like right before class starts. And okay, they don't know when things are a private situation. That clearly could have been read. This was a very personal letter to Becky from her brother in prison.
Even think about that.
She could have read it to her
Exactly.
at lunchtime. Like, they're always in these random classrooms not having class. I'm pretty sure one of those random classrooms were open for this letter to be read.
And I feel like I never actually hear that many people coming to Becky about her brother's situation. I hear more. I feel like it affects Zoe more than it affects Becky. I mean, obviously it does affect Becky, but I don't feel like it affects Becky to the degree that she makes it seem like. But this is one of the times where it is kind of a big deal.
Yeah,
and
they
she's just
definitely
sharing it with
stress
everybody.
it more on Becky's front than Zoe's front.
Yeah, and it's weird, but I feel like this is actually one of the times where it is kind of a big deal. And she's just in the middle of class, like, what's up? Yeah. So, Becky, I would like you to come and visit me in prison. Like,
I mean,
why are you just to everybody?
Like, I can't. And in the letter was saying, like, it would mean a lot to him. And then Becky's like, well, it would mean a lot to me if he wasn't a rapist.
Which just really solidifies what Degrassi does.
Yeah.
Degrassi's just in there.
So then, is when it goes down. So we see Zoe waiting in the locker room.
Yes.
She totally knows the team's going to show up.
She's
she has this textbook on her lap.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is when they learn, I guess. In these 5-minute passing
them right now.
And Zoe's waiting. She looks at the clock. And then the whole team busts through the doors in their cheerleading jackets. And they're like, we should have given up so easily.
I'm so sorry.
And then the black girl, what's the black girl's name you said?
Shay.
The black girl, Shay, she says that if Zoe wants to return the wristlets to get the equipment, then that's okay. And Zoe's like, no, they were a gift, but if y'all agree with Frankie and want to stop doing oomph chat, I understand. Yeah. But think of all the possibility. Like matching purses to go with these wristlets. Prioritize! Did you guys completely give up on the competitions?
They literally must have just, like, no, that's no competition or anything.
Like,
we might as well not even be cheerleaders anymore. We should just become fashion club and get wristlets and purses. Because that's how we do.
Are friggin' matching purses and wristlets worth sharing your boobies with the world? Like, dude, go get a job. The Dot is hiring.
It is.
We find out later on that the Dot is hiring, and they are really looking for people.
Right there, man.
Ooh, okay.
You just go in and apply, girl. You don't need this.
So then Shay says, "Well, if we're real," and keep in mind, Shay was the one who was like, "Oh my God, but what if our parents find out?"
Yeah.
But Shay says, "If we're really making that much, it would be dumb to stop."
Yes, Shay. Shay, the one that only wears Sperry's and. She only wears full-length jeans, and I don't feel like I've ever even seen her wrist. Like, she's always covered head to toe, and she's always like, oh, what about our future
She's given up on her future.
She doesn't
She's
care
in her
anymore.
prime right now, and she's gonna use it.
She needs that purse more than she needs Harvard, really.
So then Zoe calls Frankie out on no longer sending nudes after the one, and Frankie's like, I just couldn't do it. It's just not who I am. And then Jack says, and you think it's who the rest of us are? Obviously,
That
if you
is
were
who you
totally
are.
for making this money.
You literally just like made a joke, like, oh, I guess it would be fiscally irresponsible if we didn't
Jack
continue.
said this.
That was Jack.
But
And
now, what?
Okay, so you're not that kind of
But
girl.
now
Maybe you
it's
should
not
clarify.
who the rest of you are. Well, if it's not who the rest of you are, then stop doing it. Put your foot down and stop doing it. Or else it's really kind of seeming that is who the rest of you are.
Exactly.
Prove me wrong, Jack.
Because that's
Prove
what I'm
me
I'm
wrong,
seeing.
Power
This
Squad.
is the rest of you.
Oh, and then Zoe's like, you need to do your part or you're no longer welcome on the squad. So what's it going to be?
Frankie says, well,
I guess
I have to quit. Which, can I just point out that Zoe has never seemed more like a madam than in this locker room.
For real. She has got the pimp backhand slap ready and poised.
It literally is. She's
But
like sitting at the with her legs crossed and was like, well, if you're not going to contribute, I guess you're off the squad. And that is literally verbally keeping her pimp hand strong. She is crazy. This woman needs to be stopped.
I just feel like
don't get it.
next episode, I would not put it past Zoe to be like, if she thinks she's getting out this easy, she's wrong. Like, you know,
I know.
I so expect that to happen because she is such a madam in this. She's not gonna let her
She's
go
gonna
on
have like a
stage.
fur coat tomorrow, like next week, and just be like with a cane, like, what's up? Like, oh, Frankie.
If you think it's bad now, it's gonna get a lot worse. Like, dude, she's got a hit out on her right now. I guarantee it.
She's gonna like push Frankie into the supply closet where Miles and Hunter are like hanging.
She's gonna tell the
like
Power
this.
Squad to $200,000 to whoever knocks out Frankie.
She's
I
gonna like beat up. I'm sure she's gonna beat Miles and Hunter up and just throw them at her doorstep and with a note like, maybe you should have kept on Power Squad.
She's gonna like decapitate an animal and
Yeah,
leave it on her porch.
yeah.
I know, girl's crazy.
She needs to be stopped.
Dude. So then we go to Becky at the correctional facility, and she gets frisked. And for some reason, I'm like, has she never seen TV shows before? Because she's like, what are you looking for? What do you think they're looking for? Like, you've never
Watch Law and Order. Come on. Law and Order comes on every like Wednesday.
I've been watching Law and Order SVU all day long.
Let it. Yeah. How about you?
If I get arrested, I'm gonna know what's up. I'm gonna have my
Exactly what's
fingers
up.
ready to be printed, ready for my mugshot. Like, I know what's gonna happen.
I know what's happening.
And then so they're sitting down. They're sitting down across from each other, Becky and her brother, and Becky's just like, Becky, I just want you to know that I don't blame you. Becky's brother doesn't blame Becky for what he did.
Yeah.
That's very big of him.
Yeah,
I mean, he said he was trying to repent. Like, he's getting right with God.
Yeah, repent solved, because that was good. That was just really, that hit me here. Thank you. Thank you so much for not blaming me for what you did.
It was weighing so heavy on my soul. I was so guilt-ridden.
I was so heartbroken that my brother, I was thinking, yo, what if Luke actually thinks that, or what if he like blames me? I just felt so regretful about what he did.
Okay,
Next.
So next up we see Eli having an interview at the Dot with none
Spinner?
other than Spinner!
Spinner, we were like,
Spinner! From the
Spinner!
original Degrassi,
I
The Next
know,
Generation.
we're like-
And yes, I was so excited to see him, but then I thought to myself, so Spinner's still working at the Dot. Hey. I hope that It seems like he must be manager. He gets to interview people.
Yeah, he moved up.
And I wondered if he's been working at the dot all this time. How have we not seen him before now? The kids are literally like always at the dot.
So
like
yes,
Spinner from original Degrassi, the next generation.
Degrassi up in this piece.
Reach out,
representing.
And he's conducting the interview with Eli for the summer job.
Mm-hmm.
And so Drew walks in and he gets like his like all black coffee or something like that. And Eli's like super distracted.
Yeah.
And he's like, hold on, I've got to go take care of something real quick.
In the middle of a job interview.
You don't get to just...
That's unprofessional.
You don't get to just walk out in the middle of a job interview and come out unscathed. Like, dude.
Yeah, come on.
And if he's still... Oh, okay. Eli confronts Drew, and Drew says, man, it's just a really messed up situation. And Eli's like, well, who made the mess? Dude, I know that you're implying Drew, but look at the girl that you're with. It takes two to make a baby.
Okay.
How many times do we have to explain this to the Degrassians?
I don't think they really... I feel like they spent so much time out of class, they really forgot their biology.
For real, like...
Because...
Their Teachers Association needs to step it up because
really
the vital things are not being taught. All these people getting held back and whatnot, like...
This is ridiculous. And, like, come on. Who is this to blame? Okay, yeah, Drew is half to blame. But let's talk about who's carrying the baby right now.
Yeah, she's definitely the other half.
She literally has the baby in her stomach right now. Like it's like,
and then all of a sudden Claire pops up. I don't know how she randomly pops up. They're just,
they're like literally right outside the dot, just talking. She's nowhere to be seen.
I feel like Degrassi's not that small of a town for people to just be
they don't
running
seem
into.
Like it is.
It doesn't. There's so many stand-in strangers that we see all. It's not that small of a town. A lot of kids go to that school.
Yeah. There's always new kids at that school.
Yeah, and then Drew he asks her if Claire really wants the baby to be around a hothead like him, Eli, and Eli
just punches, clocks him one
boom,
right there,
and he's like, Eli, oh my god, what are you doing?
He snapped.
He did.
He did.
Somebody call oxygen. We need to snap this out.
I know.
That show was crazy.
Oh, that show is crazy. I know. Oh gosh.
So like he's just like, I can't handle this, and he just
I thought I was mad at him. But I realized I'm mad at you. And he runs back into the dot.
Flip over the table, kick a chair. I'll take the job, though.
Yeah, which, can I just say, is great to see. He got the job after he walked out of the restaurant, punched a dude in the face, punched a customer in the face.
The dot does not have obscure windows. They can see everything outside. This was quite a commotion that was caused.
Punched him in the face, walked out in the middle of the interview, punched a customer in the face, and then got the job. This is why we're telling the cheerleading squad, they're desperate right now. They're hiring anyone. So if you guys just feel like you don't want to sell, just show your boobies for purses and wristlets anymore, the dot's got you covered. Let me just tell you.
For real, why don't they just get a job there? Like, I'm pretty sure Spinner probably hired Eli because he's like, I've made a lot of mistakes in my day, and people gave me second chances. So let me give this guy a second chance.
How about the cheerleaders are making mistakes right now?
I think, though, that there's something to Eli taking this job in a very central place where he could definitely run into Claire and Drew.
Yeah, that's true.
Because if it's about to be summer...
But I feel like the other thing is about it, he is not, like... He's... when he walked in and said he has open availability, I think that was him cutting ties with...
Oh, yeah, I know that.
Is that what that was?
I caught that. Also. But it also, I just know that that's going to play into something, because he could have he could have gone back to New York and tried to get a job there or something like that. Like, he's making the conscious decision to stay in this place while the girl that he used to love, still loves, is
here
with a baby in her stomach. Like,
yeah.
And he's bound to run into her because Degrassi's a small town. And Claire just pops up everywhere.
Yeah, and it's like, the other thing is, let me just point this out. They keep talking about summer jobs and graduation and all this. I just want to point this out. It is winter time right now. And I don't like that they're making it summer because I guess we're not getting a Christmas episode. That's all I need to say. Okay. So
next we see Becky and her mom in the car, and Becky's mom asks Becky if she'll ever be able to forgive her brother. And Becky's like, I don't know. And yeah.
Let alone Zoe forgiving him. That I can't.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter if he gets forgiveness from Zoe.
Yeah. It's more about me.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And then so Becky ends up running into Jonah because everybody just runs into everybody. Like all these kids at these school, and they just constantly run into the people that they're only in contact.
Exactly. There's like 10 people in the main cast, and there's like 100 people at the school.
Dude, like it's a big school. And she apologizes for like snapping at him, and he said that her rendition of the rock song had been stuck in his head all day. I feel like that's a weird thing to get stuck in your head.
I feel like out of all the songs that he's listened to, I feel like there's got to be like something on the radio. I don't know. Nick Jonas's "Jealous" is pretty catchy. Like, I know that's catchy. The Uptown Funk by Bruno Mars. Like, none of these are getting stuck in your head. Just this operatic version of this rock song is okay.
What he means is Becky has been stuck in his head. And he's like, yeah, so I've been just thinking about it. I think you'd be like a good person in the band. And he says, and I quote, if we team up, we might be able to make something kind of special. And I put in capital letters in my notes, like sweet love.
Yes, that's what
that was what was being implied
now. Yeah, that actually sounds quite reasonable. That's probably what's going to happen.
And so then Drew comes up with his bruised face.
Yeah.
And
they walk away.
He asks if she's okay, and she's like, "Yeah, I actually kind of am." And then she looks back.
She turns
right at Jonah,
and she's like looking at Jonah and smiling. Literally, Drew is right in front of her. Like he's literally like this close to her, and she's looking back at Jonah.
Like, hey, we're about to make something.
That's
kind
of
special,
special, but okay. That's a little disrespectful, Bex. But yeah, I guess that's our overview.
That
of,
was
Degrassi, season 14, episode 5.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, comment, tell your friends. Do what you feel. Do what you feel in your soul.
Tell your boss. Tell your teacher. Tell the Degrassi teachers because they ain't doing anything.
Tell your tío, your tía. That's an uncle.
Spanish,
yeah, your abuela.
Yeah.
Your Uncle Jose, I don't know, Pedro.
We're going to cut it now before we lose all our Hispanic viewers.
My best friend's Mexican. Like, full-bred Mexican. So I can say it.
You're going to be that girl. Okay. Let's just pick up our guitars before. Right.
Mariachi band.
Whatever it takes.
Okay, we can do it.
Whatever it takes.
Well, I know I can make it through. Oh, yeah. If I hold out high, I know I can make it through. I know I can make it through.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.